Hello, my name is Brianna Sinclair, and this is my 19th week on HRT. Mainly on my channel, I post transgender content regarding my journey, and if you like my content, please like, comment, subscribe to show me your support. And with that, let's get right into the video. So like I was saying, this is my 19th week on HRT. My quick measurements update. My hips are at 34.25, my bust is at 34.75, and my waist is at 25.5. So not a whole lot of change, actually no change between last week and this week, which means that like my bust development, I feel like is a little bit more solidified. My emotional state is very much unchanging. I haven't noticed anything, to be honest with you, regarding my emotions. So I think it's kind of like leveled off as like what I would feel. And this is kind of like how I'm gonna feel things for the rest of my life. Hair reduction and growth. I haven't noticed any hair reduction. I do wait for it. But I still shave and borderline fillet like almost my entire body, like once every week, if not more. But I'm mainly like excited for like the thinning of like my facial hair to an extent, even just a little bit. And yes, Bendy's right here. He's being very boring. Yeah. Why don't you come over here and say hi? I got you. That's my little Fendi buddy. Breast growth. I haven't really noticed a whole lot of change this week, but it is very much happening. I feel like just slowly, and I feel like me recording my videos on like a weekly basis kind of like helps me track it a little bit. My chest still does hurt. It does get like very tender and stuff like that. The little buds underneath, like I guess where my breast would be, are still roughly the same size. I feel like it's more like swelling right now that I'm getting, which is fine as long as I guess they're growing. Fat redistribution, I have not noticed anything as far as fat redistribution. I think I'm getting a little bit in like my butt, but I'm not feeling anything. I'm not getting anything in like my hips or anything like that. So I do kind of wait for that. I feel like I'm not supposed to experience that, or at least notice that at least, until like 6 months in. So I'm kind of waiting for that, which kind of makes sense as to like why my measurements for like my hips haven't changed like from the start. Let's see, and then my sex drive is very much the same, which is kind of like disappointing because in the beginning I was excited for HRT because I wanted my sex drive to drop, because my sex drive was so high in the beginning that it was annoying, and it made me feel very ashamed of like myself because I didn't like being this very hyperly sexually active person. It got in the way, it distracted literally almost all the time, and kind of like demonized, I guess, certain parts of like my personality. I feel like in regards to like my relationship, but regardless, like the one thing that is a little different is like I am feeling more like emotional connection instead of like a physical connection or like an emotional attraction, I guess. So I always felt like an emotional and physical attraction to like my wife. But I am noticing that like it is more of the mental aspect of things that matters more to me than anything else. It's like how she treats me, how it's more of the little things, to be honest with you. It's like what we do on the phone, like whether or not she says like I love you, whether or not like it's whether or not she messages me at certain points and stuff like that. It's the little things that matter more to me. And that's what I love about it. And because of those little things that I'm now even more in love with, I do find myself loving her more and even more in love with her. um, yeah, I know she's a little bit afraid that she might lose me to somebody, but I'm a firm believer in the grass is not greener where you water it. Or sorry, the grass is not greener on the other side. It's greener where you water it. So what that means is, why would I give up? I would rather fix what I've already got. And I would hate to give up one of the best things in my entire life, and honestly the best thing in my life, over what a potential or possibility. I'm better than that. I'm better than that. And that's the way I am. I am allotted certain things, and with those certain things I make things work. So my relationship that I was so blessed to have and find, even through like the struggles of life and stuff like that, I'm not gonna give up just because a moment seems unfavorable or like a situation seems inconvenient. I would much rather try and make things work and do the very best that I can. Because the way I am is, if I didn't give it my all, like even if I gave 99% of everything I had, that extra 1% would haunt me for the rest of my life if it didn't work out, because I will always think that that 1% could have changed the outcome. That's that's the way I am, and that's why I try so hard in my relationship, because I want it desperately to work out, and I know she does too. And I'm not a quitter. Um, my muscle development, I feel like my muscles are slowly deteriorating in some ways. They do get atrophy a little bit. Well, they're not atrophy. They do get I get exhausted a little bit easier, and I do get tired a lot more easier. I blame that mostly on the lack of testosterone in my body, that my muscle development, that I'm more tired, but I do recognize that the lack of testosterone is also like partially why my muscles are dissipating. I'm losing my muscle mass, which is kind of good, because I don't want to be like this buff girl. I can still hold my own. Even as like this very like lanky girl. um, throughout the week, I did finally check up on my exception to policy Friday, and they're what they're submitting is basically what I understand it as a memo. That's what my exception to policy is. It's a memo saying that, like, I am going to go against the rules and regulations of my career in the field, and they're going to submit that. That has to go up out of my my workplace and essentially to the people who govern my workplace, but for them to approve, essentially. But I hope to get it back very soon, because I want to start growing out my hair and my nails and start abiding by female standards, because I feel like it's very limiting in what I can do as far as, like, my real life experience. Because as of right now, I get occasional real life experience, but most of the time I don't have time to do it. So it'd be better if I could start being awarded the ability to present more femininely, just by growing out my hair and stuff like that, because as I grow more feminine, there is a shift, I feel like, that should happen, where it becomes like I am very masculine, and I slowly shift to, like, this very, like, questionable androgynous, like, state, and then it shifts over to more of a feminine point. And my makeup does push it. It does help me present more femininely, and I do get called ma'am and she and her whenever I do wear makeup sometimes. And I do get called sir and him and he, which doesn't really bother me out in, like, the workplace, because that's what they're used to. But whenever I'm given the time to fully set up my outfits and do my hair and stuff like that, and do my makeup properly, it changes things. Immensely changes things. I drove down to see my wife, and nobody said anything to me. They didn't call me sir. They didn't say anything. I could tell, like, a bunch of people were looking at me, but I don't think they were looking at me because they thought I was a boy, because I presented very femininely that day. I wore this turtleneck crop top to cover up my Adam's apple and to kind of, like, hide my lean arms and stuff like that. And I dressed remarkably feminine. I was in full female getup. I wore heels and stuff like that, and it was one of the most amazing times I've had, because I got to go out as me. I changed after work and drove down to see my wife, and I got there at, like, 1 a.m. But it was a pretty good experience for me. As I changed after I had clocked out from my job, and I walked out with my manager because we both closed, and I think she thought I was gonna go out to a club or something, but going to see my wife is way better. And that's pretty much it. Most of the time I do try and, like, present a little bit more feminine. These videos are kind of my point to wear things that I would like to wear. So today I'm wearing this cute little dress that if I walked around in town in, I would 100% not be passable, because my Adam's apple still shows, and I feel like it like widens my shoulders and makes my shoulders look bigger than my hips. Oh, excuse me. I am sorry. It's been a long day for me, y'all. And that's pretty much it. I do plan to follow up with my exception to policy this coming Friday. Hopefully, I can get it back because my memo's got to be reviewed, and then I sign it, and then my career's got to write their own memo to the governing entity of my career. Gosh, that sounds so weird to say. But I am trying to experiment a little bit more with makeup as far as like my eye makeup and stuff goes. I was looking for a cream blush to kind of like see if I would like that a little better or if that would yield better results for me. I haven't found one yet, but I figured I would take a gander with like liquid eyeliners and stuff and try my hand at those and see how those fared for me. Because those are something that like I hear are really good, but they're really hard to find, I feel like. Oh, this was the turtleneck probably. Y'all will probably see this turtleneck coming up real soon because it's one of my favorite things to wear. And that's why I tried to wear it to see my wife. It was actually bought by her, and so I was hoping that like she'd be really proud of me. Because I got all dressed up all by myself, and I looked really good. I did my hair, my makeup, my outfit. And I walked out of the house and was able to see her for the first time. And that was the first time that she saw me like that, in like a way that I would want to present. Because usually she'll do my makeup, she'll do my hair, and she'll help me pick out an outfit. But this time it was all a surprise to her from me. And she thought it was really cute. She's kind of used to seeing me like this now, as she says, but... And I hope that's so true, because... I only dress masculine if I'm gonna do physical work. Because I don't want to mess up my girl clothes. I don't have a whole lot of those. But I have enough boy clothes that I would be more than willing to get them dirty, rip them, tear them, break them, what have you. Because I don't plan to present that way too much longer. My transition's been going really well for me. Physically, it's been going amazingly. Administratively, it has been a nightmare, but as I kind of like sit here and think back on everything, I'm glad that I started my journey. And even though I'm only 19 weeks in, there's still a lot to go. I don't know how much happier I could be. I'm finally able to live as myself, and I have an amazing relationship with somebody who actually loves me. I don't know how it can get better. Anyway, this is my 19th week video. If you like my content, please like, comment, subscribe, ask questions. Feel free to challenge me and test my knowledge. If I don't know the answer to your question, I would be more than happy to try and find it out for you. Because I like to learn more. I feel like that if you're not learning, you're getting worse. Learning and getting better, you're getting worse. So, anyway, this is Brianna Sinclair, signing off.